Hello everybody, my name is Noobrio and thank you so much for joining me for this video. This is something different, something that I've never done before. I've never made a how-to guide or my top 5 tips or my favorite legends or anything like that. So I'm really excited just to share some knowledge that I have found or some things that I think will help improve your hammer gameplay. If you like this type of content, please let me know in the comments. Consider subscribing to the channel or anything like that. It just really encourages me, helps me continue to make content, and I really just want to make things that you enjoy. And so hopefully these 3 tips, maybe 4, maybe 5, who knows, there might be more, but hopefully these 3 tips will help you really become really good at hammer and just really understanding the weapon and its purposes. Before I start with I guess the first tip, I am a core main. I just really like core. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I think it's really important for you to find a legend that you really like, and to really understand the purpose of the weapons that you are choosing. So maybe this is tip number 1. Let's just say that it is tip number 1. Know what type of weapons you are using for your character. So what do I mean by that? Core has 2 different types of weapon gameplay. All right, let's just say 2 different weapon types. Not that the fact that they are 2 different weapons, but they function differently. So when it comes to, let's start with gauntlets. The reason why I like core is because with gauntlets, I look at gauntlets as more as a aggressive weapon, more sporadic, and I'm just looking for hard reads. It's not really being patient, it's really being, super aggressive, doing whatever I want to do, and then, whatever happens, because it's gauntlets, And so I can, just make up stuff on the spot. And so I consider gauntlets as a more aggressive weapon, okay? When it comes to hammer, I think of hammer as a more patient, crowd control type of weapon. I'm really looking for opportunities. And so I may play a little bit slower, but I'm just looking for opportunities more. And so I like that this combination allows me to confuse my opponent because they don't know if I'm going to play more patient or if I'm going to play more aggressive, but I can switch depending on which weapon I am using. And so I really like that combination. And so whatever you're playing, if you're playing like gauntlets and katars where you're being aggressive all the time, like that's what they're for. They are katars are really string weapons. Gauntlets are more sporadic, like I said, but you're always being, more aggressive, in my opinion, than if a hammer player. And so really understand what your weapons are for, what's their purposes, how to use them correctly. So when it comes to hammer, my opinion, the way that I play hammer is more crowd control and, more patient. This allows you to see more reads. I'm really trying to just play this area right here with hammer. Try to get the dodge out, make them dodge. Is really what I want to do. So if I can, hit them with this and they dodge, then I can do follow-ups after that. So that's how I would play hammer. I would play hammer more patient. Tip number 2, when it comes to hammer, I would say be very comfortable with stomp. This is such a good move, especially after BMG buffed it. This is just one of the best moves in Hammer's kit. What I like about Hammer, it is an anti-air. It's small. No, don't get me wrong. It is small. It's nothing compared to bow, but I've hit so many people out of the air with stomp, and they're just not really expecting stomp to hit that high up. So if you can look here, it is an anti-air. I think that's really cool. Just being really comfortable with stomp, because if you're comfortable with stomp, you can lead to a lot of true combos. And so I think that to improve hammer gameplay is to not be afraid of stomp. Now that means that you have to be a little bit closer to your opponent, and so that's what I mean when I say be comfortable with stomp. You have to be comfortable to be in this range to be a hammer player. You can't be afraid of your opponent attacking. This is a short ranged attack, and so even though it is your best attack, what I mean by that is that it is the fastest. It is the fastest attack in the hammer kit is your stomp. So sometimes, you know, I may want to bait out my opponent and just see what they do. Like I may just throw out a stomp just to throw it out, because I know that it's going to be hard for them to punish me once I throw out a stomp. So once you get a little bit more comfortable with stomp and being in this range, there's so many things that you can do after the stomp, and a lot of true combos. So a lot of these things you may already know, but what I'm really trying to encourage you with is to be comfortable with being in this kind of range and utilizing your stomp. Let me show you a few things when it comes to the stomp and the true combos. So you have stomp sidelight, just like that. Stomp sidelight, easy peasy. Then you have stomp DAIR, just like that. One more time, boom. You also have stomp to chase dodge DAIR, just like that. And so how you do that is that you're actually, I play on controller, so I should have mentioned that earlier, but I'm actually dodging and hitting jump and attack by pushing and pushing down at the same time. So just like that. One thing that's really cool when it comes to stomp is that you can do a side light to reverse stomp and still get a DAIR off of it. It kind of looks like this, just like that. So just like that. And so that works as well. Now, also with the stomp, you also have your starter to your Russian Mafia, which is a recovery. So this is a chase dodge recovery. So your jump, dodging, jump, your stomp, jump, chase dodge, right, just like that, jump, yep, and then you're gonna recover. So if you do it fast enough, it looks something like this, just like that. Easy peasy. That is the starter of your Russian Mafia. So there's so many things that comes just from this one move, and that's so confusing for your opponent. You know, this is why people respect hammer, because if I stomp, I have so many options, especially if I'm stomping right here. I have so many options. So, you know, just think about that when you're trying to improve your hammer skills. Think about all the things that you can do from your position of stomping the ground. Tip number 3. Now, I think this is the most unique tip that I can give, okay? And it has to do with your stomp again. I typically do not gravity cancel a stomp. I just don't think it's a really safe move. I have found myself in higher elo always getting punished when I try to do that, unless I really know where my opponent is going to land, or if they have already used their dodge. I typically do not GC stomp. So I actually like everything to be grounded. I've also found out that if you GC stomp, at least in my findings, okay, is that you lose one of your abilities, and that is a chase dodge. You will lose a chase dodge if you GC stomp. So let me show you what I'm kind of talking about. So this is where I say that you lose one of your chase dodges or your abilities, and this is why I don't GC stomp, because if I start my Russian Mafia, typically what my opponent will do is that they will dodge down. They're gonna dodge down here. And so let's just kind of show that with the bot. Let's see, dodge down. Okay. And then I will miss my Russian Mafia. I will miss it because they dodge down, right? We can even give them a little bit more. just like that. My opponent will dodge down. People are so used to the Russian Mafia that they typically dodge down. What I do out of a GC stomp is I will probably weapon throw down and pick my weapon back up, you know, and hit something like that. But what I say that you're missing, if opponent is going to dodge down out of a Russian Mafia already, I would want to have my chase dodge to go chase them downward into a nair or something like that, or into you know, a side light or something, anything else. So what that looks like is this. Did you see that? Look, I can go with my opponent, and I will add something else to that. So what I typically do is this, just like that. That is what I typically do all the time. I will hit them with a nair every time. But if I gravity cancel that, I lose the ability to chase dodge down. And I know that probably someone knows maybe more technical terms of why that happens. But this is me just learning the weapon a little bit more and just wanting to share it with you. I would rather stomp into a Russian Mafia rather than GC into a Russian Mafia. The only time I would GC into one is if I catch their dodge. So like that. So whoops, hold on. Maybe like that. So only if I can catch their dodge. So I may stomp twice, and then I will go into the full Russian Mafia. But other than that, I would not typically just GC stomp just because I can GC stomp. I just think that is a waste and an easy way to get punished, and you lose one of your utilities. And so I wouldn't do that. So understand the state of your stomp. Tip number 4, utilize, okay? You must utilize your grounded SAIR, DAIRs, and NAIRs, all those. If you don't know how to do those are fairly simple, but it's something that you need to learn as a hammer player. There's so many hammer players that I see not doing this, and it's just something that will really improve your gameplay. So what does it kind of look like before we keep going? So this, that was a little high, but you can get that, you know, super low to the ground if you do it right. But this is typically what you want. I can, you know, side light and then jump, chase, dodge, side light again, just like that. And what else you can do is you can do a nair, you can do a dair, you can do a reverse, you can do all those things. So I may do this, you know, sometimes with the reverse. I may do this, you know, just in case they jump. I may do this, you know, just in case I need to catch them, just like that. Those types of things are available to you that a lot of hammer players are not utilizing. So I would take the time to really learn your grounded DAIRs, SAIRs, and NAIRs. Another thing that I use a lot is double side light. I think that is amazing. Sometimes I will switch that up with just in case they dodge in, I may back up, right? So let's kind of see what that looks like. So just like that. That is very useful as well. So how do you do it? Like I said, once again, it is jump, chase, dodge, side light. So just like that. Really catches your opponent off ground, really catches your opponent off guard. And so I would definitely use that if you know which way your opponent is dodging. If you made it this far into the video, first off, let me say thank you so much. As you know, I was really nervous about this video and even how to put it together. it's really me just kind of rambling, but hopefully you have found some help, some insight, some direction to become a better hammer player. So what I'm going to do is kind of just show you a really flashy move that you can do with hammer, which is called the V. I'm just going to show you all 3 variations. I really like the V. I've never, really thought that it was really useful in matches, but if you can ever pull it off, great. I think it's really awesome. The way that it really works is that you have to, get the dodge read on your opponent, and there's some nuances to this move, but I think if you practice it enough, you can definitely get it right. So I have found that the V works between 140 and 170. I think it works the best around 150 and 60. I think 70 is almost pushing it, but I haven't really been able to use it other than those kind of ranges. And so we're going to have the bot neutral. And so basically what you want to do is you want to stomp, let them neutral, recover, chase dodge down, recover again, chase dodge to the side, and then you want to hit it a DAIR. So it kind of looks like this. Oh, and I missed. Just like that. I would probably reverse it though. Yeah, just like that. So that is called the V. I really like how flashy the V is. Now, there's some other variations. You do not have to do a DAIR. You can do a NAIR, or you can do a SAIR. Right there. And there's a SAIR. And then you can also do, oh, I did a SAIR again. Sorry about that. And I missed. But you can do that as well. See if we can get this right. Come on, Rio. There it is, just like that. So you go and practice those. If you can do the V, you're pretty good. Like you just taking your hammer skills up to a new level. And so but keep at it. I believe that you can be a great hammer player. Don't give up. I gave up for a time, moved on to another legend, and now I'm back on hammer, and I wouldn't change it for anything. If you found anything helpful in this video, please consider liking, please consider subscribing, and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see more. Other than that, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are, but you may want to start changing your ways, or changing your name.
No, you are so dumb. You are really dumb, for real.